Bonjour, Émilie Talpin, web system ambassador in the US. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm answering one question. Do we really need a flash to do some macro photography? So let's get started. So this is the summer in New Hampshire right now. I've been doing a lot of macro photography. I actually do daily vlog and it's been so much fun, and I'm out every day, and you can see in my vlogs I use a flash to do my macro photography. So the first question is, why do I use a flash for macro photography? Well, you know, if you're a macro photographer, that one big issue with macro photography is the depth of field. Well, the depth of field, which is what is in focus in your photo, usually is pretty shallow, meaning you don't have much in focus when you're doing macro photography. And that's why we need to make sure that we have enough in focus. And for that, there are things that you can do, like changing your aperture. You'll see that most of my photos are taken with an aperture of f16, f18, and oh my god, I will definitely go to a f22 if that means it's going to give me the photo that I want, meaning that my insect is going to be in focus and I'm not going to have the eye not in focus or part of the body not in focus. So unfortunately, I can't just say, yeah, I'm just going to put my aperture of x16 and then get an ISO of 200 and a shutter speed that's going to be fast enough to freeze my subject. That would be great, right? But that's not possible. That's not how the triangle of exposure works. I will have to compensate if I want an aperture of f16. So where do I compensate? Do I compensate with my ISO, meaning that my photo will be a little bit more grainy? Do I compensate with my shutter speed, meaning there's a high chance my photo will end up blurry if my shutter speed is super low? Why? Because I'm probably going to move a little bit. My camera, OM system cameras, Olympus cameras are super stable, and I can do some shots and holding those cameras with a very low shutter speed. It's quite impressive, but I mean, it's not gonna cut it most of the time with macro photography because my subject is gonna move. I can't control my subject. So that's why you see me with a flash. Now, having a flash allows me to have an ISO of 200, which is the best ISO for OM system Olympus cameras. So that's what I want, but I also have a shutter speed that's gonna be 100, something like that. And then I'll use the power of my flash to get a big boost of light that will allow me to have an aperture of f16 or more. So I hope this is clear, but if you have questions about this, just put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Now, well, do you need a flash to do macro photography? No, not all the time. There are times where I do not use a flash. For example, this photo, I didn't use a flash. I am doing water drop refraction, and here it's on a tripod. This is not going anywhere. My water drop is not going anywhere. My flower is not going anywhere. My shutter speed can be extremely low. I'm going to use light that is natural light, or I'm going to use a constant light. That will be enough. Yes, I could also use a constant light, but the constant light when I'm doing macro outdoor, sometimes it's not enough. I need a bigger boost, and that flash is going to give me much more brightness than if I'm using a constant light. I know some people who are shooting with constant light and are having some great result, and that's okay. I'm not here to tell you this is the only way. There are multiple ways to shoot macro photography, and I'm just telling you that most of the time I'm using a flash, but not all the time. And then there are times where, well, the conditions are right outside. I can diffuse the light with just a small diffuser, or I don't even need to diffuse the light because the clouds are in my favor. They're there and they're diffusing the sun, and so I have a beautiful light, even light on my subject. I will not have hot spot. Then yes, I might be able under those circumstances to take a photo of an insect. Like here, this Robert fly was not going anywhere. The sun was diffused. I could have used a diffuser if it wasn't, but I didn't have to. And so it works. I was on a tripod. I use my three-legged fig tripod. Everything worked perfectly. And also, I like to have this green background. I think it works very well. If I had a flash right here, then my background would have been dark because that light would have been on my main subject and my background is too far away, so the light is not hitting the background. It's gonna result in a dark background. So that's kind of an effect that you can use when you have your flash, but keep that in mind. What effect do you want? If you're using a flash and the background is way further, then that's what you will get. You will get a beautiful black background. I love it, but I don't love it all the time. So you need to keep that in mind. And if you are not sure about how to use a flash for macro, I made a video for you, so check it out right here. Now, all those photos right here are photos that I took while using my flash. I like to go with the OM1 Mark II, the 90mm macro. I also like the 60mm macro. My flash, the FL700, but I just don't go out just like this. Like, that would not be good because this is so powerful that basically would introduce hotspot on my subject. So, do you need to use a flash for macro photography? Yes, under certain circumstances, I highly recommend to use the flash. If you like natural light, then yes, you know that you will have some restriction when you're shooting macro photography. I love to be able to go around and be very mobile, and that gives me, I feel like, an advantage instead of being fixed on a tripod. And so I love to have the flash, and I do like very often to darken my background. That's my style of photography. That's why a flash is important, but not just a flash. I need to include a diffuser, because if I don't have a diffuser with my flash, then my photos are not going to be pleasing. That's why, yes, a flash is great, but in my opinion, you need a diffuser to make sure that you are doing what the clouds are doing to the sun to diffuse that light. Now, I hope this makes sense. I'm not saying, yes, you absolutely need a flash. I'm saying, oh my God, a flash is a great tool to have if you are a macro photographer. I'm not here to tell you that natural light or flashlight is better. That is not the point. I think there's an argument for both. In certain cases, natural light is better. In other cases, well, it's the difference between getting the shot and not getting the shot, then you need to have the flash. And sometimes it's also a question of the style that you want, you know? So, with all that in mind, I hope that you understand that there is no yes or no answer. And I hope you give it a try for the flash. If you don't have a diffuser, well, I made a video right here to tell you how to make a diffuser. It doesn't have to be a big investment. I like my AK diffuser. It's a little bit of an investment. To me, it's worth it. It's an amazing diffuser. But you can also make your own diffuser with cardboard boxes, aluminum foil, and it works pretty well. And also paper towel, because you need to diffuse the light, not just with the cardboard box. If you are interested in seeing more images that I took using a flash, then I highly recommend checking my daily vlog, where I take you on little adventures wherever I am. I've been doing a lot of adventures around my neighborhood because it's summer. The insects are going crazy, the flowers are beautiful, So macro time it is. So I invite you to follow. That's the playlist right here that you can watch. And let me know in the comment, are you a natural light photographer? Are you a macro photographer? Or do you use one or the other whenever you need it? I know that for myself, most of the time, I'm a flash and diffuser photographer. Now, I hope this video was useful and is answering a couple of questions that some of you had, or discussion. I know there's been heated discussion about natural light and flash photography. Who knew? It's art. I think people need to understand that there is no wrong way of doing things. It's just a different vision. What do you want to create? How are you going to get that result? And I want to thank you again for all your support. If you're not a subscriber, well, it's never too late. You can click the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click the bell so you know when my videos are coming out. I want to thank you again for all your support. The next coming weeks are going to be packed. I'm doing a workshop with Lisa Kuchara this Wednesday in Portsmouth. It's going to be so much fun. We have a couple, when I say a couple, is 1 or 2 space available, I think, for this workshop. So if you're interested, I'm going to put the link below. And I'm also going to be at Hans Photo and Video with ABA, and we'll talk about bird photography. And I'm excited about this. There's going to be some amazing presenters, and we are going to do some photography walk in Boston. So if you're around, you should come, you should join, because you know, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. I mean, I'm sure there is a certain number of people that they will accept, but you should definitely try to sign up. I'm going to put the link below, and I hope you can join if you are around Boston and are free. I also will be at Hans Photo and Video store on the weekend of the 16th, 17th for all those workshops, for the birding workshop. But I'll also be at the store, so stop by and say hi. We're going to be with the OM System team, and I love hanging out with those guys. They're so much fun. So just come to the Melrose store. We'll be around. Happy to help you answer any question when we are over there. And yeah, that's kind of the 2 big events that I have. And then I'm doing a macro retreat with 5 other of my colleagues, OM System ambassadors, in Maine. It's going to be so fun. We actually are full for the workshop. I know there is a waiting list. We actually are going to get a couple of dates coming up very soon on more retreats. So stay tuned. We'll make some announcement very soon. And until then, happy shooting. I will see you very soon. Au revoir.